Why the number 8? What is so special about the number 8? The PL-89, as explained earlier, starts with the number 8. And it progresses by adding 9, and then adding 8, and then adding 9. Stopping at 40 and starting again. So it goes 8, 17, 25, 34, 2, 11, 19, 28. Continues on, 36, 5, 13, 22, 30, 39, 7, 16, etc. Continuing on, until after it hits the final number 40, it after 80 times going through, which comes at the number 40, it starts again at 8. So that's the PL-89. It's 80 marked boxes, but as explained earlier, there is a row that is unseen. It is to be understood as a period known as the 10-day twilight period. It's really 8 days, and then depending on the month, there's could be a maximum of 2 extra days, sometimes even 3 days if you're doing the Gregorian calendar. There's 31 days, but generally it's 2 extra days. So you have 8, was 88 days, and then 89, so 88, and then 90, and that averages out to 89. So that's one of the reasons why it's the PL-89, but it's also 89 because of 8 and 9. But it's also 8 and 9 because 8 times 9 is 72, and 72 is the same format for the 72 names. But 8 and 9 is also the 8th and 9th year spoken of in Leviticus. So there are many, many reasons why it's the PL-89. But the original question was, what is so special about the number 8, and why is it started with the number 8? If you take a look at the history, the Jewish history, starting from the way Orthodox Jewish people, or maybe not just Orthodox, but in general Jewish history, defines the history, taking granted the fact that it's 5784 this year. That means that 5,784 years ago, something very significant happened. Let's leave it at that in terms of our world, creation, etc. Why is 8 very important? Well, if you look at Jewish history, major events, some of the most important, significant events in Jewish history happened when the last digit was 8. Now, just stepping to the side a moment, in the counting system that is used in all of the enterprises of the informational, the info tab, the infinity pi matrix, the PL-89, the 752 squares, all of them use a system of counting that is very base 10-y, to use the expression. It's base 10, but it uses the last digit as the main digit to be focused on. So, for example, the number 18 is just an 8, 28 is just an 8, 2,558 is just an 8, but it's just an 8 at the 255th floor. They're like floors. Each decade is like a floor, and the 8 is really where you're at, the last digit, in this way of thinking. If you understand that in that way, then some of the most fundamental things of Jewish history happened when the last digit was 8. This is taken from the Codex Judaica, Jewish history timeline, composed by Rabbi Matis Cantor. I believe it's a work of the Chabad, but it can be verified in other Jewish sources. This is just one of them. In the year, if you take it that the starting point, let's call it the creation of the world, the starting point is 5,784 years ago. So 1,558 years from that point, Shem, the son of Noah, was born. And Shem is the start of the line that eventually would come the nation of Israel, the Jewish people, or the Hebrew people. Shem, they call it Semites, is where it comes from, Shem. 1558, and 8 is the last digit. Let's go to the year 1948, which has a double significance. The 1948 was both the foundation of the state of Israel, but it was also the year, if you count 1,948 years from the creation, you'll find that is the time that the year that Abraham was born, the father of the people of Israel, the Hebrew people, or will come to be known as the Jewish nation. Let's go further to Sarah. Sarah was born in 1,958 years from creation, 1958. Let's continue. An essential and fundamental covenant between God and Abraham in Genesis. I think it's Genesis 15. I'm not 100% sure. It happened in 2018 from creation, 2018, which also parallels to the secular year of 2018, which is 70 years of the establishment of the state of Israel. Let's continue on to the circumcision of Abraham. And the same year, Sodom and Amorah was destroyed. And the same year, Isaac was born, and that happened in the year 2048 from creation. Okay, let's continue. In the year 2108 from creation, Jacob and Esau were born. Key characters and key players in the history of the world in terms of Jewish and Edom and Esau, the perennial struggle between Jacob and Esau. They were born in the year 2108. We'll stop it here for now.